I want to warn you, the story that I'm about to share with you is tough. The image you will see is graphic, the event brutal. It has already sparked a public outcry and protests in California. A young man, homeless and schizophrenic, beaten to death, kicked, tasered multiple times, hogtied face down, smashed against concrete, his head slammed with a flashlight. And again, a warning, before we show you this photo, this is what happened to Kelly Thomas. Strangers who watched, helpless, say the violent after effects that you see here happened at the hands of 6 Fullerton, California police officers. According to the Los Angeles Times, this all began when police got a call that someone was trying to break into cars. Officers reportedly found things in Thomas's backpack that didn't belong to him. Police say Thomas tried to run and resisted them. But I want you to watch what just one observer recorded as police responded.
He's already down on the ground already. He's either shot the... That's pigs, man. They're taking ruthless.
You just heard Thomas, the victim, screaming for his dad, who happens to be a former Orange County Sheriff's deputy. Dad, Dad, he was saying. Those were among Kelly Thomas's last words before he fell into a coma. He died of his injuries that we showed you 5 days later. Thomas's dad, Ron Thomas, as we just said, was a former sheriff's deputy. Speaking about his son's death, he told reporters at a protest his death was gang-involved, a gang of rogue officers who brutally beat my son to death. The only thing we have left of our son is the blood in the gutter. That's all we have left. That's his quote. We'll hear from the Orange County DA's office in just a moment. We reached out to the Fullerton Police Department. Their spokesman, Andrew Goodrich, agreed to do an interview with me on air, confirmed that he would answer our questions. But at the last minute, the Fullerton Police Department has backed out of their interview with us. Instead, they issued this brief statement from Police Chief Michael Sellers, who says, "This is tragic for our community. We are in the midst of an investigation." In a previous press release, the department says, quote, "Immediately after the incident, Fullerton Police requested the Orange County District Attorney to take over the investigation." Chief Sellers said then, "The department believes it is in the best interest of everyone, the police department, Mr. Thomas's family, and the Fullerton community as a whole, to have a thorough and independent investigation conducted by an outside agency." Now let's bring in Susan Kang-Schroeder, who is the Chief of Staff at the Orange County DA's office. Susan, thank you for coming on the program. The way these officers appear to have responded in this case was absolutely brutal. I mean, honestly, it's very hard to watch that video and certainly to look at that young man's picture. Where are you in this investigation?
Well, as a parent, anybody who hears what Mr. Thomas said, your heart goes out to the family, and unfortunately nothing will bring Mr. Thomas back. But we have to put our emotions aside in the Orange County District Attorney's office and make sure we do a thorough and fair and a complete investigation. We have assigned we have assigned more than 24 police officers in our agency to investigate this case. Our district attorney has made it very clear it's a priority in this case. And we have interviewed over 80 witnesses. We will probably interview more than 100 when we're all said and done. And we're awaiting some important scientific information, such as toxicology reports and also the autopsy report, which will determine the cause of death.
Any idea when you might get that autopsy report?
You know, we don't know yet, but we have a lot of investigation left to do. We will make sure that the truth will come out, and the truth will come out in one of two ways. If there is a trial and there are charges filed, the truth will come out during the trial. If, for whatever reason, charges are not filed, the office will issue a complete fact-finding report that describes everything that happened, all the laws that apply to this case, and why we made the decision not to file. We haven't made up our mind. There's still a lot of investigation left to do.
I want to ask you about these videos. We played one of them earlier. Now, there are some other videos that people there who claim to be witnesses, videos that they've taken that your office is not releasing despite requests by city council members to do so. Why is that?
If there is a trial, the witnesses who come to testify will be under cross-examination, that what they are testifying to, they're testifying to based upon what they actually saw, not what they saw in the media. We want to make sure that the truth comes out. And if we release videos, it may suggest to witnesses that come forward, and we're still seeking witnesses to come forward to testify to what they saw in the media rather than what they actually saw and what the truth is.
And can you tell us, even though you're not going to release the videos and show the video, can you give us any insight as to what might be on them?
I can tell you that it was a video that was taken at the depot, and it was controlled by the Fullerton Police Department. There are things that you can see, and there's things you can't. There are many. Your heart is sad watching what happens in the case. But we have to be objective and decide the case based upon the facts.